Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Mahabharata 131. As you may remember, Duryodhana mistook a pool for a floor and fell in, and everyone had a good laugh at him. Even the many servants about were amused by this mishap to the Kuru prince. They gave him dry clothes at the command of Yudhishthira, who was very much concerned at this. Bhima, Arjuna, and the twins, and their queen Draupadi laughed at his discomfiture. Other happenings added to his pain. Once he walked carefully across what he thought was an expanse of water. Actually, there was no water. Duryodhana cut a sorry figure. He once thought that there was a doorway and walked through it. There was no door, and he hit his head against the blank wall and hurt himself. Peals of laughter greeted him. It was Draupadi who laughed at him and his humiliation. This was just awful. Duryodhana had to look unconcerned. He walked out of the hall in great anger. He took leave of the Pandavas and left Indraprastha. His heart was near the breaking point. He would not talk to anyone, not even to his dear brothers and friends. He sat for hours alone in his chamber, and he thought of the way he had been cheated by Providence. The Pandavas, I think, are favored by the gods. When they were sent to Varanavata, I was sure I would see them no more. But that fool Parochana bungled. They became stronger than they were before. They became the sons-in-laws of the powerful Drupada. They were dismissed with a barren strip of land. They've made it fruitful. On top of all that, they have now become masters of the world. Yudhishthira has performed the Rajasuya. He's been acclaimed as the monarch of the entire world. Thoughts like these were chasing each other in his mind. He spent days and nights together in solitude, refusing to talk to anyone. He sat alone, hugging his grief to his heart. The childhood jealousy in the heart of this unfortunate prince had turned into hatred, and now it became an obsession with him. He was not like his father in some things. His father, for instance, was just an avaricious man. But in the case of Duryodhana, it was not just avarice. It was something more than that. Dhritarashtra's avarice was in his heart. He was a coward. He could cover up his thoughts with the cloak of hypocrisy. But Duryodhana hated hypocrisy. He was frank. He did not like the involved reasonings of his father, to whom caution was the watchword. Dhritarashtra dared not express his feelings. Duryodhana reveled in speaking his mind. It will not be out of place here to try and find out what made the young prince what he was. Duryodhana was a noble prince. The one instance when he made Radeya the king of Anga was enough to prove that generosity was his second nature. Later, when he was ruling the kingdom during the memorable 13 years, we hear that people were happy under his rule. He was a good man, but he was cursed with one tragic flaw: envy. He was a sweet-natured person as far as his people and friends were concerned. But his envy of the 5 Pandavas was a fire burning his entire life. This one fault led to his fall. When Drona first came to Hastinapura, he met all the princes. He was charmed by the behavior of Arjuna. He called Ashwatthama and said, "My dear Arjuna, from now on, my son Ashwatthama will be your friend for life." But Ashwatthama did not take to Arjuna. Instead, he became a great friend of Duryodhana. In the end, he sacrificed himself, his everything, for the sake of his friend. He did not hesitate to commit the deadliest of crimes, the midnight massacre in the camp of the Pandavas. He did it to please Duryodhana. Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.